What's up, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for being so patient over in YouTube in the chat. I thank you for your patience. I did not know that this broadcast was already giving you guys notice that I was going to be coming live. So the fact that you guys stayed on while I came live, I want to say thank you. A huge shout out to my YouTube community. A huge shout out to my Facebook community as well. You guys have been in there holding strong. I really do appreciate you all. Tonight, we're going to talk about tyranny. I said I was going to come on because y'all know I'm about ready to throw in the towel. I'm about ready to give this whole sucker up. But I decided that I am going to come on and we're going to talk about tyranny because the things that I am seeing, I am not liking. And I think the only way we can fight back on what we're seeing is to have the conversation. And as we know, there are a lot of people, not y'all in the chat, right? But there are a lot of people who are asleep and they don't have any idea what is going on. So I am here to bring people some awareness. So before we get started, I want you guys to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you are on Facebook, if you guys are on YouTube, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. I want you to share the video. I'm going to keep it clean today. I'm going to try to keep it clean today. Maybe I should start by not lying, right? I'm going to try to keep it clean today. And we're going to try to have dialogue today. We're going to try to talk to one another, right, family? We're going to try to talk to each other in a way that we can hear one another. Now, if you don't want to get cursed out, don't be stupid, right? If you don't want to get blocked, don't be stupid. I think this community can have a really good conversation with each other just as long as we are respectful. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about tyranny. First of all, what is tyranny? How about we start there? What is tyranny? Right? So I want y'all to know, because I want y'all to be able to understand how tyranny is being defined. So when you guys are listening to the news, when you guys are on social media, when you guys are on YouTube and you're hearing the crap that certain people are saying out of their mouth, I want you to be able to identify what tyranny is. And tyranny is when you're using physical. Y'all got your pen and paper? Y'all better get your goddamn pen and paper because y'all think I'm joking. Tyranny is when you are using physical and psychological coercion as the primary method of governance. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that differently. Tyranny, family, is when you're using physical or psychological coercion as the primary method of governance. Okay. Let me say that to y'all differently again, because some of y'all just don't get it, right? Some of y'all just don't get it. We got to think about all that has been going on, all the violence, the force, the overstepping of our government. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this conversation today, but it is what it is, right? The overstepping of our government, the propaganda, the nasty little schemes that are going on to try to get to coerce people to do what they want them to do. What kind of coercion? Did y'all see? I think it came out of, I don't want to say Australia. Y'all gonna have to fact check me. I don't want to make up any goddamn lies tonight, and I didn't look it up. But y'all already see how I do. If I make a mistake, I'm okay to say I was in error. So I don't want to be in error tonight because I didn't look it up. I want to say there's an ad in Australia. It may not be Australia, so don't hold me to that. Right? But I want to say there's an ad in Australia. We're not going to just focus on COVID. We're just not going to focus on COVID for this conversation, but I'm just bringing up this ad so you can understand the psychological coercion and how it falls under tyranny, right? So there's an ad, I believe, in Australia. Y'all fact check me. And the ad goes something like this. If you get the jab, I'm just trying to say, if you get the jab, you'll be entered into a contest to win $1 million, right? $1 million for getting a jab. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all better look that shit up. Somebody look it up because, I said I was going to curse. Damn it. Somebody look that shit up and put it in the chat, because I'm not making this up. If you get the jab, you'll be entered into a contest to win $1 million. $1 million. So what is tyranny? Let's say this one more time. Is using physical or psychological coercion as the primary method of governance. In order for you to control the people, you have to use physical coercion, beat some people's asses, allow the cops to beat people's asses, choke them, keep their jobs. I'm just trying to say, I ain't making this shit up. I ain't making it up. You got to use psychological coercion. You want some weed? Take the jab. You want $1 million? Get the jab. You want some hamburgers and French fries? I ain't lying. I'm not making this up. Y'all can look at this all you want. Get the jab. I know, listen, family. I know I usually have Mental Health Friday. And I've been inconsistent with my Fridays because sometimes I don't be liking, not y'all, I love my community, but sometimes I don't be liking y'all in America. And sometimes I just want to run away. I don't want to deal with the bullshit. So when I live under the rock, my life is cool when I'm under the rock, right? But when I come out of the rock, from underneath the rock, I got to deal with a lot of bullshit. You know, the curse is out the window. I said I was going to stop cursing. I ain't going to curse. I ain't going to stop cursing. I'm not going to do it. Not tonight. I'm going to try in about 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of cursing. And then I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to clean it up in a second. But what I'm saying to you is, you got to understand that the amount of coercion I'm seeing going on, the amount of tricks the American government is playing with the minds of people is disgusting. I woke up to even more shit today. And I'm like, this is crazy. And if the American people do not see that they are experiencing tyranny at its best, I don't know how we're going to overcome this. I don't know how we're going to win, because we need collectively to wake up to fight this disease. This is Mental Health Monday. Mental Health Monday today in lieu of Mental Health Friday. Today is Mental Health Monday. We got to understand that the mental health effects of tyranny, it impacts not only the ruled, those of us who are being ruled by these tyrants, but it also impacts the tyrants themselves. The rulers themselves, they're impacted too. See, you got to understand that this crazy dynamic, this psychological dynamic of being a tyrant and being the person that is subjected to the tyrant's behaviors and acts, it requires both of us to be psychologically sick. I'm just trying to say. Shout out to Donald Gibson. Thank you so much for that donation. It requires both of us to be sick. Both of us. We can't just turn around. You see, family, we can't just keep looking at the tyrants, and there's a whole bunch of them. The tyrants is not just one person. So I know you guys are blaming the tyranny on one person, and that's the guy with amnesia inside the chair, on the chair in the presidency. I know y'all all blaming it on him, but I got news for y'all today. Y'all, I'm gonna blow all your minds today, right? Because I need y'all to change that mindset. Is he on some real crazy, mentally sick amnesia stuff? Yeah, so was the last one, right? So was the one before that, and so was the one before that. You got to understand that tyranny, a tyrant is not just one person, right? It's a compilation of people. And these people over time get worse. So what we're seeing and what we are witnessing today did not start 4 years ago. It did not start a year ago. You understand? I'm going to get there, but you got to understand that there has to be some type of psychological illness in both the ruled, those of us that are ruled by the tyrants, and the rulers, the tyrants in and of themselves. In order for you to continue to be subjected to the tyranny that we are experiencing, you have to be psychologically impacted. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you, Kwan. Kawan, I'm going to break it down, Kawan. I hope y'all really understand what I'm saying. Listen, do me a favor, share the video. Share the video. Because I want y'all to understand really what's going on. Because I need you mofos, you ninjas, to wake the hell up. I need y'all really to understand what's going on here. You have to understand that what we are experiencing, mass violations of basic human rights. Y'all didn't get that. What we are experiencing, and that is the mass violations of basic human rights. Basic human rights. We're not talking about luxuries. We're not talking about privileges. We're talking about basic human rights. There is a mass violation. And in order for them to pull that off, I was going to say the American people, but irony is happening everywhere. The tyrants are rising. The demons are on the rise. It's happening everywhere. But, so if I say to the American people, to all my people, I see I got somebody in the chat from New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand. I see I got somebody in the chat from the UK. Shout out to the UK. When I say the American people, please, y'all don't get offended. Don't get offended. You know I'm talking to the American people just for a moment. I'm going to start talking to different segments of my population. So when I start pointing out different segments, y'all don't get offended. Because y'all going to get offended. Y'all need to take your ass off this channel, right? Don't get offended. But I want you to understand, the American people have been experiencing mass violations of basic human rights. And what is so scary, in my opinion, the views that I'm expressing here are my views alone. They're not the views of YouTube. Maybe that might work with them shutting down my goddamn channel. Maybe that might work. But this is what I'm saying to you. Shout out to Harlem in the house. What's up, Freedom from Harlem? What's up to you? I want you to understand that in order for mass violations of human rights to occur, the mass population has to be under some type of psychological spell, psychological sleep, psychological paralysis in order for this shit to happen. You understand what I'm trying to say? In order for this to happen, the mass population of people got to be mentally sick. I'm just trying to tell you, our society as a whole is suffering from societal disorder. We are sick. And the only way you are going to get well is for you first to recognize that there is a problem. Let me tell you about sick people. Y'all think I'm fucking lying. I ain't lying. Let me tell y'all about sick people. Let me give y'all a scenario. Now, I got a disclaimer before I give y'all a scenario, because I know how some of y'all are. Y'all some sensitive mother freakers. Y'all sensitive. I know how some of y'all are. So I want y'all to just open up your ears, right? Open up your ears for just a moment. Just a moment to just hear me out. I'm just using it as an analogy. But don't get in your bag, don't get in your feelings, don't personalize it, and don't internalize it, because I don't know you personally. So that's the problem. This is how you know you're sick. This is how we know that our society is sick. I'm segueing for just a second. Give me a second, guys. This is how we know that our society is sick, because somebody can make a statement for an example, for illustration, and people that don't even fucking know you will internalize it, and they would get angry and upset and attack you. Instead of listening to what you have to say, they will start attacking you because they know that they're internalizing it, because maybe their shit is not together. So they're taking it personal, and now they want to attack you and make you out to be the bad guy. I'm going to talk about it. Just give me a second. I'm going there as well, because this is a sign that our society is sick. And as long as we remain sick or ill, the tyrants will rule. So let me give y'all an example. Y'all accept my disclaimer? Y'all accept my disclaimer that don't take it personal. I don't know y'all personally, so don't get in your bag. But I want to be able to say this. Our society don't know they're sick because they're in denial. They are in denial. It's just like a person who you say to them, listen, beloved, you got to change your diet. You're killing yourself. Try something different. Maybe you should consider eating this. Maybe you should consider doing this. You say this, right? But the sick person is in the now. And instead of them accepting or welcoming the feedback or considering what you're saying and giving it a try, they become defensive and they push back on you. Like you could say to them, listen, maybe you might want to cut off of eating, meat every day, right? Maybe you want to cut off on that. Maybe you should add a little bit more vegetables in your life. Maybe you should get a little bit more diverse with your fruits and vegetables in your diet so that you can overcome sickness. And they laugh it off. Or you tell them maybe you should implement some herbs into your regimen in the morning, or be consistent with taking your vitamins. It's not bad information you're giving them. You're giving them forewarning that you're seeing signs that they're not well, but they ignore it. Or maybe they go to the doctor and the doctor says, your blood sugar levels are terrible, or, you're borderline diabetic, or you have high cholesterol. You got to change your diet. Let me refer you to a nutritionist. And they refuse to go. And then all of a sudden they get cancer and they're mad at the world. I'm just saying, right? They have to allow something that is preventable to happen to them, to put them in a position where now they're desperate to survive in order for them to change behaviors. That's how sick people operate. Sick people they're not open to suggestions. They're not open to the possibility that maybe they should listen to somebody else, right? Maybe they should do things differently. Sick people don't believe that they're sick until they get their death description or their death certificate, or they get like the bad report that says the Grim Reaper will be visiting you in the next 6 months to a year, right? That's when they want to start doing right. That's when they want to call you and say, remember the time you was telling about that vitamin, or whatever? What was that vitamin you think I should take? Oh yeah, I'm trying to eat better now. I'm trying to eat better now. I'm living my best life now because they got 6 months to live. Now they try to do different things, right? That's what our society looks like to me. Now remember, I said the views and opinions are mine alone, and it doesn't belong to anybody else. But that's how our society looks to me. That's what societal disorder is that we don't want to do what's right, because to do what's wrong is that much better. Let me tell you. Let me go on. Listen, when I say societal disorder, I gave you an example of health, right? Just so you can see how our society is being broken down. Right now, in my opinion, we are witnessing a rapid breakdown of democracy, where our basic human rights are being violated every day. And there aren't enough people speaking out against it. People are just going with the flow because they have been the victims of psychological coercion that has convinced them that this way is the right way. This is the way we should be moving. We are in a sick society. We are in a sick society. And for some reason, nobody is interested in wellness. Nobody is interested in wellness. We're going backwards as a society. And you know why this is happening? I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to get into this conversation right now. We're going backwards in the society. Somebody said Black people have been severely indoctrinated. Listen, you ain't lying. I think a lot of people are severely indoctrinated. But it hurts me when my people, because we've been through enough, and you would think that we would not trust. You would think that we would not trust this government, but they have done a great job with telling us lies. They have done a great job with the propaganda. They have done a great job convincing us. They have done a great job dangling fried chicken, weed, $1 million sweepstakes. Next thing you know, they're going to have Jordans. They have done a great job of dangling possessions in front of our faces, and they don't even realize the things that they dangle in front of our faces is the very things that are making us sick in our society. I'm just trying to say. And the reason why this is happening, the reason why the whole society is sick is because shit, yeah, I said it, shit trickles downhill. We're getting into it, family. We're getting into it, family. Hold your horses, right? Put on your seatbelts. Calm the fuck down, right? Because I know some of y'all will live and die by the Democrats. Some of you guys will live and die by the Republicans. You think like they think, you do what they do, you believe in what they believe, and you don't think for yourself. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, those of you guys that are like this, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be upset with me. You're going to be upset. And you could be upset, but you just got to keep it respectful. We can dialogue. You just got to be respectful. Get the fuck out your feelings and your bag. I don't care about your emotions. You're not my client. You're not in therapy with me. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. I'm going to speak the truth. So this is my disclaimer to some of y'all that be dying and swearing by your political parties. I'm just saying, right? Some of you guys swear by it. They don't give y'all shit in return, but you swear by it. So I want to be able to say this, that shit trickles downhill. And our chosen leader of the free world, in my opinion, has the personality of a tyrant. Just saying. I'm just saying. See, I know what y'all about to do right now. So I'm going to stop this shit right now before y'all start doing it. I know what y'all about to do. You're going to say, oh, no, Trump was just as bad. Trump was worse. I'd rather have Biden over Trump. Y'all going to about to start all this bullshit right now. And I'm going to stop you because I'm going to show you something. You got to understand that his personality, he's always been a tyrant. Think about what I just said, what tyranny is, right? It is physical and psychological coercion. You know what the word coercion is, right, people? It's physical and psychological coercion as the primary method of governance. And this guy, this tyrant, I said it. I don't care how y'all feel, especially the senior citizen ninjas out here. The senior citizen ninjas, y'all be in your bag. Y'all need to calm down. Just collect your Social Security and calm down. All right, let move over. Let the younger people take over because your days are numbered. It's done. I'm saying, truth is the truth. You got to understand that his personality is a reflection of the government body. Because remember I told y'all that tyranny is not just one person. And even though I'm saying that the leader, the chosen leader of the free world, has the personality of a tyrant, I don't want us just to blame him. There's a number of people we got to blame. I'm going to go over that real quick. We have to blame him. But he can't do anything on his own. He actually needs the government body in order to do that. And you got to understand that his tyranny, remember I said shit trickles downhill. His tyranny, his personality that reflects that is also reflected in the government body that supports him. You hear what I'm saying? It is also reflected in the government body that supports him. And check this out. So you have the leader of the chosen world that's a tyrant. You have the government body that's filled of tyrants. Then you have the personality also being reflected in the American people that support him. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what tends to happen. See, tyranny doesn't just start today. We've always had tyrants among us. We've always had the threat of tyranny among us. And it used to be in the past that we were able to keep those tyrants under control. But what happens when we have year after year after year of tyrants ruling? What happens when we have year after year after year of government bodies that are supporting and giving these tyrants the muscle that they need to use physical and psychological coercion on the American people. What happens when the amount of American people that make up the governing body, what happens when they're also tyrants? When they have the personality of tyrants as well. So you have the people that support this tyrant. You have the government body that supports this tyrant, and then you have the tyrant. It's a recipe for disaster. That's what we're seeing right now. And you got to understand, in the words of David Hume, he says that power is on the side of the governed. Power is on the side of you and me. Power is on the side of the American people. But what happens when the American people that support this tyrant has tyrant behaviors as well? What happens? I told y'all it was Mental Health Monday, right? I told y'all it was Mental Health Monday. So let's get into this mental health aspects. I just wanted to set the stage. I wanted to set the stage because I wanted you guys to understand that tyranny is not a one-person thing. And the reason why what's going on is able to go on for as long as it's going on, because there's so many different people, so many different players involved. Some of y'all are probably tyrants as well. The tyrants are probably the ones that fucking report my channel because they have an agenda. They have an agenda, and they like to use force, and they like to use psychological warfare in order for them to be in control, because they know without it, they ain't nothing but a bunch of punks, right? Without it, they ain't about nothing. They haven't been about anything. But I'm going to show you guys why this country is under tyranny right now. I'm going to show you guys why we are all psychologically suffering right now, the ruler and the ruled. See, they already reported my video. They're already reporting my video. I'm telling you, the tyrants are everywhere. But I'm going to show you why. Let's start talking about tyranny as a disease. First and foremost, I want you to know that tyranny, listen to what I'm saying. Tyranny is a mental disorder. This is Mental Health Monday today. This is Mental Health Monday today. Tyranny is a mental disorder. And what we are experiencing right now, why all these things are happening. I'm going to go over all the things that's happening, but y'all already know. Y'all don't need me to tell y'all why all the things are happening. Why we are seeing things at the oh God, I'm just telling you, this shit is stressing me the hell out, because I don't know if people realize how sick they are. When you are not able to see the sickness in this all, there's a problem. When you're not able to see the political pathology, it's a problem. When you're not able to see that under the political pathological symptoms that we're seeing, we have violence, we have corruption. I'm talking about at an all-time high. The violence is at an all-time high. And I'm not just talking about police brutality. I'm not just talking about police violence. I'm talking about across the board. The violence is at an all-time high. You see people, because people are sick. This is what tyranny does. It makes people sick. Because remember, they have to use psychological coercion. It's psychological warfare. It is designed to make people sick so that the tyrants can have rise. I'm telling you, because the sick people are going to support sick people. I'm just trying to tell you. Sick people are going to support sick people. Think about what I'm just saying for just a moment. Just a moment. When you have a whole bunch of fucking nutcases, they're going to support each other. Somebody say Waco, right? I'm just trying to say. We have so many different examples where sick people supported other sick people. And that's what's happening in this world. We have political pathology. When we have in this country, in this great nation, the violence is out of control. We have, okay, let me tell you about what I just saw. And it's all over social media. I guess the nor'easter is here. You hear that the storm is coming, but it's all over social media. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. about the violence, the amount of violence. When violence can overtake a school. Did y'all see that recent viral video of, I guess it's called Dads on Duty? Shout out to Dads on Duty. They're not the first organization that does it or has been doing it, but I want to give them their due respect. Dads on Duties, I think it was in Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. In Louisiana, is a school where the violence has become so out of control that the school itself could not control it. And then they had all these fathers, Black fathers at that, right? All these fathers coming to the school, and the fathers, the presence of the fathers got all the boys in line. And then the violence that was happening in the school started to calm down. So I want you to look at that. Even though that's a small little thing, I want you to make it applicable to the larger population. The difference is the fathers weren't tyrants. The fathers were not tyrants. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let me say that again. The fathers, the organization Dads on Duty, were not tyrants. So they were in their sane mind, and they was able to see the sickness, and they came in and they treated the sickness in order to heal the population. But what happens when you send in fucking tyrants into the school? What happens when you send gun trigger happy police officers into the school? What happens when you send police officers that believe in excessive force and you send them into the schools? What happens with those students? Does it change? Do the students all of a sudden fall in line? Do they start to, oh, the police is here, let me get better? No, because the police force has become a whole bunch of goddamn tyrants. And what happens when you send tyrants into a community of tyrants? Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. That's right. It gets worse. More chaos. Absolutely. It's more chaos. And this is what I mean when I say that sick people, whether they're doing it directly or indirectly, support other sick people. We see that all day in the hood. We already know that there are systemic issues that cause the hood to be the way the hood is. But what happens? I don't know about any of y'all who've left the hood. Any of you guys, tell me in the chat. Any of you guys have once upon a time lived in the hood, left the hood, and then went back to visit the hood? How many of y'all? Am I the only one that used to live in the hood, grew up in the hood, went away to college, earned my living, never went back to the hood, right? Well, never went back to live in the hood, but I'm in the hood all the time, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We see it all the day, all day. When you leave the hood and you come back into the hood, you have a better vision. You're able to see it from a different perspective. But I don't know about y'all. I only speak for me because, you know, the views that I express are my own. It doesn't have to be yours. I don't know about y'all, but I'll tell you about me. When I go back into the Bronx, per se, or Brooklyn, let me tell you. When I go back into New York, now y'all know I don't live in the hood. I ain't got time for the fucking hood. The hood makes me angry. The hood turns me into a tyrant. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Turns me into a tyrant. I'll be waiting for somebody to step on my sneakers. Now that's a joke. Now, y'all know I'm joking, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Come on, those of y'all grew up in my era, you know what I'm talking about when I say that. I'll be waiting for somebody to step on my motherfucking kicks, right? I'm just saying. And if I was to turn around, I'm just giving y'all an example. It's a big if, right? I'm just using it as an example. But if I was to turn around in the hood and smack the shit out of somebody, is anybody going to break it up? Is anybody going to stop me? Is anybody going to tackle me to the ground? Is anyone going to call the cops on me? I'm just trying to say, I'm asking y'all. Maybe y'all have a well-organized hood of citizens. I'm just asking y'all. I just want to know. I just want y'all. See, Kimberly says no. Brita says no. That's what I'm saying. Let's have an honest conversation. So if I'm in the hood and I turned around and I slapped the living shit out of somebody and we started thumping, and my boots is in the person's head and my hands is wrapped around the person's hair and I'm just kicking her face in. After after a while, somebody might break me up and tell me, go home, get out of here, get out of here. Y'all go, ain't nothing to see, go home, right? But my tyrant behavior was allowed because tyrants allow other tyrants to be tyrants. Just trying to say. I'm just trying to say. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. This is what we're seeing in our American government right now. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing political pathology where they're allowing violence to occur. Trust me, they have the power to stop it, but they're allowing it to occur. They're allowing corruption to occur. They're allowing secrecy to occur. They're allowing propaganda used as psychological coercion to occur. All types of propaganda. We're not just talking about the jab. And I don't got to mention the propaganda, y'all, because y'all know if I mention certain propaganda that's out there, y'all already know we're going to have some haters are going to come to turn down my channel. Y'all can put it in the chat, but y'all know the other types of propaganda that's out there. Nothing is healthy anymore. Nothing is healthy anymore. The disease of tyranny works because the American people, just like an impaired immune system, right, is a disease. It's a disease. The reason why, okay, let me tell you. So I got to break it down because I know some of y'all are not going to be able to catch what I said. Some of y'all, not all of y'all. Some of y'all like real quick with it. Some other people, it's kind of late. So some people are sleeping in their mind, right? They're not all there. So let me just say it to you differently. The reason why tyranny, the disease of tyranny works is because the American people is like an immune system. I want you to think about that for just a second. I'm going to stop being too deep. in just a second. Y'all know how I am. I'm going to come on here. We're going to be deep thinkers. If you don't want to be a deep thinker, take your ass somewhere else. I don't care. Go to the hood. I'm joking. Don't get in your bag because y'all know I can tease the hood because I'm from the hood. God damn it. I can tease the hood. But I'm just saying, we're going to be deep thinkers. Let me tell you something. The disease of tyranny works because the American people are like an immune system. And you got to think about it. When a pathogen, such as the virus, I'm saying, since we were talking about the virus, I might as well just use that as an example. When a pathogen enters into your body, your immune system is supposed to kick in to be able to ward it off in order to maintain the health of the body. That's when your immune system is healthy. So in other words, when our society is healthy, we kick in and we control the tyrants so that they won't overcome the body of the people. We keep them under control when our system is healthy. Y'all hear what I'm saying? But when the system is impaired, when our health system is impaired and a virus enters into our body or a pathogen enters into our body is not able to effectively fight it off because our body is impaired. So we succumb to the virus, not the virus itself, but other failing organs because our body wasn't strong enough to keep the organs functioning and fight off the illness. You're following me 100%, right? Thank you for that, Black World TV. You're following me 100%. Now, when the American people are like an impaired immune system, meaning when the American people is sick, when they are ill, and they're not healthy enough to fight off tyrants, I'm just trying to tell y'all, when they're ill, they are not capable of fighting off the disease of tyranny. Family, our society has taken ill. Our society is like a person that consumes fried food constantly, consumes junk food constantly, that does not eat vegetables, has a poor diet, that does not consume fruit, do not take their supplements, their iron, their vitamin D, their zinc, their folate, their biotin, their magnesium, right? Our society is like a person who does not take care of their health. They are in denial of their weakened immune system. They are in denial of their general health. And when a virus like a tyrant comes through, they're not able to fight it off. The reason why we have not been able to fight off of this tyranny is because as a population of people, as a society, we are experiencing disorder and disease. We are not able to fight it all because we are sick. We're not taking our goddamn vitamins. We're not taking our supplements. We don't have enough vegetables. We don't have enough water in our body. We don't have enough fruit in our body. We are sick. And this did not happen overnight. This did not happen overnight. And this did not start with Trump. So I know a lot of y'all like to do that shit. Y'all like to blame a person. Y'all feel good about that. Everybody always want to answer. They want to blame somebody, even if it means sending an innocent person. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm just talking about in general. Even if it means sending an innocent person to jail, y'all don't care. Just as long as you have a motherfucking culprit, that makes y'all feel better. Sick. We are sick, family. I want you to know that the climate and the conditions for tyranny has existed for a while now. It has existed since before our economy collapsed. It has existed before our economy went under. You understand what I'm trying to say? We were sick as a population. And because we have been sick for a very long time, we have allowed the tyrants to take over. But I want y'all to understand that we can't just look at what's being blamed for the sickness. We can't just look at Amnesia Joe, right? He crazy. I don't know. We ain't gonna get into that tonight, but y'all know. And if you don't know, he's sick. Let me tell you, Amnesia Joe is sick. He has to be sick. In order to exist in this country, he has to be sick. Remember what I told you, tyranny affects the ruler and the ruled. So we're sick, his ass is sick too. In order for it to continue, in order for it to stay on a cycle, our asses both have to be sick. But I want you to understand something here. And it's important. It's important for you guys to understand something here. We can't look at the one person, the tyrant or the virus that's making people sick, and say that is the reason why they're sick. The tyrant, the ruler of the free world, the tyrant is not the reason why we're sick. The virus is not the reason why we're sick. It's the impaired immune system. Our society, the American people, have already been sick before the tyrant came. American people, y'all know America has the worst health statistics in the world, right? Y'all do know that shit, right? I'm just trying to tell y'all, get your motherfucking vitamins. I'm trying to tell y'all, the American people were already sick before the virus came. You understand what I'm trying to say? Tyrants have always been present before we've been overcome by tyranny. Tyrants have always been here. The virus has always been here. But the fact that we are sick allowed our systems to be compromised. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's right, Sandy. Sandy said it is a symptom, and that's exactly what I'm saying. It is a symptom. So what caused this sickness in the American people? What caused us to be so mentally weak that we are being psychologically controlled and manipulated and coerced? What caused that? Let me say this. I'm going to tell you right now what caused it. See, it's easy for certain people to say poor housing as an example, right? Poor housing caused it. And that would be true. But also overpriced housing caused it too. Listen, let me just hear me out, family. I'm gonna give y'all the psychology behind it. Don't ever get it twisted. Poor housing, as an example, I have a lot of examples to give y'all, but poor housing, as an example, right, can make people sick. Not only physically sick, but psychologically sick. But overpriced housing can make people sick as well. Okay. Y'all not getting it. Let me say it to y'all a different way, because your asses are not getting it. So I got to wake y'all up differently. Sometimes I got to get out of my head, because y'all know I'm a deep thinker. Sometimes I got to remember my audience and take it down a fucking notch or two. So let me take it down a notch or two, because I'm going to put this shit in plain English for y'all to tell, for y'all to be able to see. Somebody said, what happened to Bitler? I was forgetting his name. You're right. Bitler. We love Bitler. When we don't love Bitler, but we like the name Bitler. So you're right. Thank you for reminding me. But let me say it to you this way. Not only does poor housing cause people to be sick, overpriced housing cause people to be sick as well. So I live in a town, which we would leave unnamed. I live in a town. And before I moved out of my previous town of Fort Lee, they're sick in Fort Lee as well, right? I'm gonna tell you. Before I lived there, that's right. Truth the Black is already on it. Consumerism. You're absolutely right, Truth. See, why Truth? You need to just take over the show, goddamn. You need to just do the show, because you got it. I mean, I might as well just end the show, because y'all too goddamn smart for me. But I'm gonna say it anyway. So whether it was in Fort Lee or the town I am now, I'm just using the town I am now because there's so much history here, and there's so much Black history here, but people don't realize it because they see so many white faces. They see so many white faces and Asian faces and Indian faces that, you know, they don't recognize that this town that I live in has a strong Black history. So I moved here. But nonetheless, I was listening to the people of my new town. And the people of my new town, the natives, is not too many of them left, are upset with the people like me. They should love me. Because if only they knew I'm for them, right? Y'all want to pick up some fucking sticks and fight, I'm with you. I'm going to fight with you. Now, I'm a true social worker at heart, man. I'm social justice from 1860, right? I take it all the way back. I burn some houses down. I'm just trying to let y'all know. Don't ever fucking get it twisted with me. I'll burn some houses down, right? So I'm listening to the community of the natives, the very few that's left. And they're upset because they're saying that this town initially was for the blue collar worker, the working class society. And he said, all of a sudden, all these educated people have come into the town with 6-figure and above incomes, and they have made all the prices in the town go up. And the people who were originally in this town can no longer afford to live here. So they're upset, rightfully so. They should be upset, absolutely. But they're upset because they said when they came into the town, the educated 6-figure earner people, when they came into the town, they changed the whole aura of the town. They said their neighbors used to know each other, and now their neighbors know each other no more. And that makes them mad. That hurts them. It doesn't have the same sense of community that they used to have. And they're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. But the people who the natives are talking about, they don't realize that they are sick. They much rather have their big houses, their luxury cars, their luxury bags. They love to go to Whole Foods, whole paycheck, right? They love to go to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and they love to have this life, not realizing that on one end, some people have poor housing, which is making them sick, but you have this overpriced housing and this inflated sense of self that's making people sick as well. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Just like with nutrition. Poor nutrition will make people sick. We know that. But guess what? Inflated prices feed into a sick mindset as well, because some people won't buy it if the shit ain't $40,000, right? I'm just being facetious, but you know what I mean. They'll go in and they'll look at it, and if it just looks cheap, they won't buy it. They won't buy it. Because in their head, everything has to have a certain tag on it for them to feel good about themselves, because they're sick fucking people as well. Same thing with education. On one hand, we have poor education. But then on another hand, we have people who spend countless money on their children to go to schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools that cost $40,000 more than college tuition in some cases, cost $40,000. And if you look at the mindset of these kids, not only are the children sick, but their parents are sick as well. I'm just trying to tell you. I know some of y'all are going to be offended, but I'm telling you. Same thing to medical care. The poor has poor access to medical care, or let's say Mental Health Monday, mental health services, but then the rich don't even accept health insurance. So they exclude a whole population of people, and their fees are $250 to $350 for an hour, or 45 minutes, which is considered a clinical hour. That's outgoing rate. That's outgoing rate. Mine too, right? That's outgoing rate. So you have this, but I accept insurance because I'm for the people. Whereas there's people like me that don't accept insurance. I mean, to each his own. But it inflates their sense of self. Right? And so they think that they're more valuable than the next person. Understand what I'm saying? So I want you to know that this sickness affects everybody. One, we can visually see it and not question it because it's obvious. Poor housing, poor nutrition, poor education, poor access to medical care or health care. That's obvious. And then the other ones are disguised, but they're still sick. So this is what I'm trying to say. In order for tyranny to happen, tyranny has had to already exist among the American people. It's been brewing. It's been brewing. And no one has been checking these inflation prices. No one has been checking the rise of the economy to unbelievable amounts of money. It's like, it's crazy. No one has been checking it. We have allowed this stuff to happen, and we have allowed the tyrants and the government body that supports the tyrants, we have allowed them to trick us, use psychological coercion, psychological warfare on us, and trick us to accepting it without fighting back. We're sick, family. Tyrants have existed in our political body for a very long time. For a very long time. The previous health of our nation, they would have been able to resist the tyranny, and they were able to resist the tyranny. Now, I'm going to say some controversial stuff right now. I'm going to say some controversial stuff right now, but I need y'all once again just to listen. Is it not about debating it or not, right? It's not about debating it or not. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just a school of thought. And so in order for us to be able to have these kind of conversations, we have to be able to welcome different schools of thoughts. Some of y'all asses be too fucking ridiculous for me. Because you guys go for confirmation bias. You only find things that support your frame of mind, that support your thinking, that support your bad behavior, that support your illness. That makes it okay. Right? You see this in sick people all the time. You see this in unhealthy people all the time. All the time. You'll tell them, God damn it, put them pork chops down, put that fried chicken down, put that shit down. It's fucking killing you. The food is killing you. Stop buying this processed food. Stop buying juice from concentrate. Half of your asses don't even know the difference between juice from concentrate versus juice not from concentrate. I'll tell you what it is. I know some of your asses don't even understand it, right? So I'm getting off. I'm done because now I'm getting upset. Y'all know when I start getting upset, I start cursing people out. I'm trying not to get upset. But this is what I'm talking about, is that we fail to gain understanding. We fail to look at things from multiple perspectives. We fail to research things, not just take it. So you got to understand, when you're in psychological warfare, you have to stay alert. You have to research everything. Just don't take it because they're telling you it is so. And this is what we see all the time, is that like people who are sick will always find a reason not to better themselves. Right? They'll give you stuff like, please, Pork ain't never hurt nobody. Please. My grandmother, people in my family say this all the time, and they're saying it because it's the truth. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's the truth, but it doesn't mean it's okay. This is how fucking sick people are. It doesn't mean it's okay. Please, I ain't never gonna stop eating my pork chops and my pig feet and shit. Look, our grandmother been eating this shit since she was a child, and she's still 96 years old and ain't on no medication, and she all right. Stop believing everything you say. Ain't nothing wrong with eating this. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong. This is what they say, because they, instead of them accepting the fact that you're overweight, I'm just telling you how sickness works. I'm using this as an example. Don't get in your feelings. I'm using this as an example. I don't want you guys to look at this as, see, this is one right there. See, I'm gonna talk about this right now. Let me bring this person up. You see, I wish I could see your picture, Angela. Who do you think you are, swearing and looking down on people? You're a twit. What the fuck is a twit? Angela, get your funky ass out of here. This is what I'm talking about. Instead of listening to it to be a critical thinker, because Angela is not. Angela gets offended because Angela is probably the person that I'm using as an example. Even though I don't personally know her, this is what I mean when I say people in our community is sick. They're sick, right? They're sick. And this is what happens. I'm glad she said that. I'm glad that Angela's clearly white, because look at her. See, I wasn't talking about nobody today, but you see what Angela does? You are just an angry Black person. Angela's showing her true colors. You see what sickness looks like? That's what sickness looks like. And that's what's happening in this world. We got people like Angela in this world, and they're sick. They're sick, and they know that if they say enough, they're going to call the other walking dead, the other sick people, and then the other sick people are going to come along. But they don't realize that sickness doesn't last in a healthy community. That's what I'm trying to say, right? That sickness does not last in a healthy community, because a healthy community can control sick people like Angela, right? Just like the immune system. It doesn't stop us from being attacked by sick people. Just like the immune system that we have, it doesn't stop us from being attacked by viruses, but when your immune system is healthy, it can fight it off. So what I'm saying to you, somebody said no child left behind, right? She clearly was left behind. She clearly was left behind. But as I'm saying is, you got to understand that we once upon a time had a healthy nation. Now I'm going to say some controversial stuff. Y'all ain't got to agree with it. But I'm just saying to look at it, consider it. When we were closer in prayer, when we were closer to recognizing God as a ruling entity, when we were closer to that, we had a healthier, I'm not going to say we was the healthiest, but we had a healthier society. When we believed in decency, when we didn't allow our airways to be plagued with such vile, nasty, hypersexual music, language, when we didn't see hypersexuality on television because it was more control, and they just left that shit for cable, and they didn't have it on regular channels, right? It was more control. We had a healthier community. When we had family as an institution, and we supported family as an institution, we had a healthier community. We had a healthier immune system, right? When we had communities that actually had neighbors. Let me say that again, because some of you motherfuckers are missing it. When we had a community that actually had neighbors, we had a healthier society. I'm telling you, man. Trying to tell y'all should have shared the video. I'm telling y'all, trying to get people healthy. The people that want health, I'm trying to get them healthy. When we live by the golden rule, and when we live by goodwill, we had a healthier community. We had a healthier society. But the minute we started moving away from all those things, our society started to get sick. This didn't happen just this year or last year. This didn't happen with the last presidency. This has been existing in our family and in our community, in our society. And the longer we allow this sickness to go unchecked, The longer we kept consuming unhealthy things, indecency, disrespect, dishonor, when we started consuming these unhealthy things, our societies started to break down. And the minute our society, which is our immune system, the minute it started to weaken, the tyrants were able to rise up and consume or overconsume our body, our society. That's right. Dig on my YouTube husband, Famancho. You're right. He said shit got dysfunctional as fuck. And it's true. Shit got very dysfunctional. And for some reason, the minute the virus of dysfunction in our society started to take over our body, the American people, we started to accept it as is. And we wanted to medicate it instead of healing the root cause. Just like sick people. Just like unhealthy people. They'd rather pop a pill than to do what the fuck they have to do to strengthen their immunity. Get in your feelings if you want to. This is not about you. This is about an analogy to help wake you the fuck up so you can see that you're sick. That's what this is about. We used to laugh at tyrant personalities. We used to be able to keep tyrant personalities at bay. We used to be able to keep it at bay. But guess what? That's not possible anymore. I know right now we're using social media, but I want y'all to know that social media is the devil. I want you to know social media is the devil. Social media has made it possible for tyrants to rise up. Just trying to tell you. Social media has allowed tyrants to have platforms. Social media has allowed subgroups that promote tyrant-like behaviors to share the tyrants' platforms, making them popular. We have a lot of tyrants out there, not just in our political party. And it attracts people who want to be and it share the concept of identity of these people, and it first our society. This is what's been happening in society. That made health and make disease and order normal. We also have turned healthy nations pathological. We're sick, family. We're sick. But I want to be able to tell you guys this while I turn around and I start to get up out of here. Just as we can heal our body of illnesses and sicknesses, if listen, you can heal your body. I don't care. See, a lot of you guys have, here's another part of sickness. A lot of you guys have discredited naturopathic doctors, NDs. They went to medical school as well. A lot of you guys have discredited NDs and you are promoting and upholding MDs. Now, I ain't got no shade toward MDs. My daughter is about to be an MD as well. So I ain't got no shade on MDs. But what I'm saying is we have turned away of what is healthy. And we want the magic pill. We want the magic pill. We want everything to be solved in a shot. We want everything to be solved with some medicine. We don't want to change behaviors. We don't want to change thought process. We don't want to change pathological communications. We don't want to change the sickness that's within us. We just want to be able to live with it. We have become aware, okay, living with sickness, but the body can heal. Our society can heal. We can get well. We have to learn to get back to where we were. That's right. MBR 2323. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. We have to do the work. whether the work is rebuilding our communities, bringing back being neighbors, being respectful of one another, teaching our children about prayer, teaching our children about meditation, teaching our children about being in alignment, being one with the universe, whatever fucking thing you do, we got to get back to a place where we teach order. We got disorder in our homes. Some of your children are disorderly. We have made, somebody said, did she say neighbors? I did. We have to get back to building neighbors. We don't have them anymore. So yes, I did say neighbors. But nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. If we don't change the way we are behaving, we're not going to overcome this tyranny. We're not going to overcome this sickness, this disease. We're not going to overcome it. And that's the thing. People don't want to admit to where they need to get back to. People don't want to have this conversation because in order for you to have that conversation, you got to say that you've been fucking up as well. I'm just trying to say. Let me tell you something. I used to hate my neighbors. I'm saying this and I'm getting out of here, y'all. I used to hate my neighbors. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm going to say it again because some of y'all ain't hearing me because, y'all act like you all love your neighbors. I used to hate my neighbors. When I lived in Fort Lee, I lived in a high-rise building. The only people that I liked were my doormen and my maintenance people because I had to pay them for whenever I wanted stuff, right? I gave them money for their gifts and their birthdays and shit because they make sure you're okay. They make sure you're okay. So it's not that I really like them, but they served a purpose for me. But all my other neighbors, shout out to Twin Born. I appreciate that, Twin Born. Somebody said, talk to shit. I appreciate that. But all my neighbors, I thought they were like weird. And I didn't like them because I thought they were weird and I can tell that they were sick. Let me tell you what used to happen. I would get on the elevator and my happy-go-lucky self, that building broke me down. I had to leave. I had to leave Fort Lee. I had to leave that community. But anyway, I get on the elevator and I would say, good morning. And they would act like I wasn't there. Or when I got off the elevator, I would say, enjoy your day. Have a good night. Have a great morning. And they would act like I wasn't there. And begrudgingly, they would say, good morning. Like, they didn't want you to talk to them. So it got to the point where I would get on the elevator and I said, fuck it, I ain't saying nothing to nobody. So I stopped saying good morning. Then one day I was on the elevator and a sister got on the elevator and she said good morning to me. And I was excited. So, oh shit, somebody's fucking talking. So I said, good morning. We had a little chit chat. We had a conversation. She was talking about kickboxing because I go to kickboxing and all this other stuff. And, we had a good conversation. And then I didn't see her anymore. Or in the morning, I would see her. She was rushing in. I'm rushing out, or vice versa. We didn't really talk. We didn't have the same kind of conversation. But she was the one person that was healthy. But everybody else, when you're around sickness, sickness will overtake you. So I went back to my normal sick ways. Don't say good morning to those motherfuckers. They don't say good morning to me. Everybody's good, whatever. Don't say shit to me. I won't say nothing to you. Everything's good. Let's keep it that way because you'll get cussed out in a second. You fuck up, right? So let's just keep it that way. And that's the mindset that I had. It was making me sick. That community was making me sick. Then when I was leaving the building, it was when I was moving now. I said, I'm moving to a slower paced community. Got to get out of here. Got to get into the suburbs. I can't do this anymore, right? I was leaving the community. And that same sister I saw in the elevator, she said to me, I was on the elevator. She said, good morning. I said, good morning. And I turned around. She said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, wow, what happened? So she was like, no, I was wondering if something happened to you. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, because usually you're bubbly. I see how you talk to the doorman. I see how you talk to the workers in the building. And I just started to see that you lost that spark. So I figured, I don't know if something happened personally in her life, but are you okay? That's what I mean when I say you got to get back to neighbors. That I needed to hear that. because that was not happening in that building filled with sick people. And she was the only one that was able to say something for me to listen, because she was the only one that wasn't sick. Right? That's why I say we got to get back to knowing our neighbors. Because the reality is, the way we're operating right now, there is no love. We no longer have communities that are just our families, right? You know, the family is no longer like that. We're so spread out. We're all over the world. Families are so distant from each other. And not only are they distant from each other, they don't even talk to their neighbors. So yes, I said, get back to building communities where we have neighbors and we know our neighbors. It is a sign of health. One of many, right? There's a whole bunch of different signs of health. One of many. I'm just giving you one as an example. But if we want to heal, we have to get back there. If we want to be able to heal our community and take back our country, we have to get back there. Because if not, we're allowing sick fucking people to rule. We're allowing sick people to rule. And if you allow them to overcome us, to rule in large numbers, we eventually will get sick, because each and every one of us, we're like a T cell or a B cell. We're like the immunity. We're the ones that fight back, right? But if each and every one of us, one by one, we get plucked off by a sickness, we're not going to be healthy enough to fight back. We're going to be impaired. And we're going to be overcome with sickness. And that is what we're seeing in this community, in this nation right now. We are overcome with sickness. Now I left that, General. That's right, Lewis. We are allowing sick people to rule. That's exactly what we're doing. Now I want y'all to know, family, I left it generic. But my family knows what the hell I'm talking about. I left it generic, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If we continue to operate from an impaired immunity, we're going to die. Now, I'm not saying die, you're going to be in a grave 6 feet under. Some things are metaphorically speaking, right? We got to be able to use our creative mind and our critical thinking, but we're dying right now as a nation. We're dying right now. We're dying right now as a community. We are dying. We are dying. We are dying. We are under psychological warfare. We have sick people coming in us, around us, controlling us. And we're starting to exhibit sickness. Now I'm going to say this and I'm out of here. I'm going to say this and I'm out of here. Now, y'all remember the sick person that was in here, right? I haven't seen her name in a while, right? So y'all seen the sick person. Now, you know that we're healthy here in this community. In this community, in Dr. Sean's community, whether I'm on Instagram, let me show you my Instagram channels. I want y'all to be able to follow me on Instagram. About relationships, as I'm healing sick relationships on Instagram. I'm healing sick ass relationships on Instagram, right? So you got to go over there and follow me. But I want y'all to know that this is an example right now. Right now, this is an example what a healed community looks like. How we were able to rid ourselves of a virus that was in our chat. Just that simple. That's what health looks like. Shout out to Sid. That's my brother right there. Sid says, well, it's not my biological brother, but that's my brother. You know, my brother's like my bro, right? He's saying, I'm having a very hard time with my most respected relatives having a different attitude about the pandemic from me. Is because these are the people who I viewed as strong all my life. Now I see weakness. That is so hard. You don't see weakness, Sid. You see a sickness. But they're not going to be able to receive that. So you can't be like, you motherfuckers are sick. It don't work that way. They're not going to be able to receive that. So you got to start thinking, how do you heal a sick person? what they want is an easy fix. They want a jab. They want a pill. They want something that they only have to take for 7 days and then they heal. Now 7 days is too long. Remember when what's that stuff that needs to give you penicillin? What's penicillin? My mind, I got the COVID brain, but y'all know what penicillin is, right? Remember how you used to have to take that shit for 10 days? People don't want to do that work anymore, right? They don't want to take it for 10 days, and they dropped it to 7 days, a different antibiotic. They dropped the antibiotic down to 7 days. Now they have a 5-day, a Z-Pack 5-day antibiotics, and that's too much. I even know they got a 1-day one. I'm telling you. And no one is questioning this shit. No one is really even thinking about this shit. They're just doing it. They just want 1 day. 1 day. We're a sick nation. That's right, James. Thank you for that, James. He said, remember, you're not going to be able to save everyone. I know I'm not going to be able to save everyone. And I'm no longer trying to save everyone. That's why I said, let me just come on here. I'm going to just have a generic conversation. To those who want to be saved will be saved. Everybody else, fuck it. Listen, call me Noah. Call me Noah. I am not building the boat for everybody. Some of your asses are going to drown, and it is going to be just that. Just saying. All right, y'all. I love every last one of y'all. Make sure y'all go ahead to Instagram. Follow me on Instagram because it's all about relationships. All about relationships. But I'm healing sick relationships. I'm going to have a conversation on Instagram. Not tonight because it's too late. But I'm going to probably do it, if not tomorrow, definitely on Wednesday. I'm going to have a conversation about sexless relationships and why that happens. I think the fellas want to be there because it's a different type of conversation. I think the fellas want to be, some fellas want to be there because they want to know why she ain't giving it up, why she always tired. I'm going to give y'all some feedback, fellas. Now, you already know I'm different. I'm a different type of therapist. You're not going to like what I say, but it's going to be medicine for you, natural medicine. It's going to be like vitamin D. It's going to be natural medicine. It's going to be like zinc, right? I'm going to give it to y'all in the forms of fruits and vegetables. But some of you motherfuckers don't like your fruits and vegetables, so it's going to be hard for you to be able to consume it. But I'll see you guys all there, right? Have a great night. Thank you for that, Dan. I appreciate that. Be blessed, y'all. Have a good night.